Yes, I'm Mike with KTS Not a Trick Studios, the creative director, and I organize this whole ordeal. Yeah. So I've had this concept for quite a while now. It has just never presented itself as a possibility. Obviously we're doing a two-part. We're doing a boudoir photo shoot and then mixed with a short narrative film. It's kind of how we are, drafting our projects here moving forward. Being that it was the first project in quite a while, I definitely wanted to, get back to my roots, which was, the boudoir photography itself. I have that dark and creepy side of me that's, my style is not for everyone, and that's fine. I completely understand that. Especially when I saw the location, man. The location was absolutely gorgeous. And I saw the floors and it kind of clicked like, okay, no, this is the opportunity to actually fulfill this concept. It's a mixture of, the sensuality and vulnerability of a boudoir subject mixed with a psychopathic killer, which, is right up my alley. So generating a project that not only has, a badass photo shoot, but also the narrative film, it made sense. I want to confuse the audience, right? You start, obviously, with the beautiful talent, and we start to take a psychological turn, and as the narrative plays and the audience is slowly introduced to the motives of the subject, then that is where the turn of the story actually happens. So creating something that not necessarily confuses the audience, but takes them on an emotional roller coaster from point A to point B, and you end up in two entirely different locations. And just the visual idea of what I had in my head for the thumbnail, which is just that creepy smile, that wide, just unnatural smile at the very end, and that tap tap, like that's gonna be amazing. Our goal for this year in 2026, we took a year off, right? Took a year off to kind of reevaluate who we were and what direction we wanted to go. And the goal for 2026 is doing 2 of these projects a quarter, if not more. We've rarely done projects in this capacity, right? To where we have this large of a photo shoot and a narrative film as well. So as we continually improve, continually hone in on our craft and the narrative creation process, you can absolutely expect to see more. And you can expect the concepts to get wilder and more character driven, and it'll be a wild roller coaster for sure. I would assume that there will always be an aspect of that within me, right, or within the narratives. Maybe not boudoir in particular, but adding that sensuality and that vulnerability to a subject. Really gives you a lot of play when it comes to changing who they are psychologically. Our entire existence was only possible because of collaborations. We've had the opportunity to work with some absolutely amazing people. I miss working with a lot of the old people that we used to work with. It's, collaboration is a huge aspect of what we do, obviously. I know what my mug looks like. I can't get in front of there very often unless it's a, creepy, Viking type of character, which, hey, who knows? That might pop up every now and again, who knows, collaboration is extremely important, and, we're always looking to collaborate. I don't make enemies, I make allies. So, competition is not competition. Competition, in my mind, is an opportunity to learn, grow, and further, because we're all students of the craft, right? So anybody who says that they've mastered anything is absolutely lying to you. So collaborating with other photographers, other videographers, other editors, other models, makeup artists, everything, it's the cornerstone of what we were built on, and will continue to be the driving factor of how we succeed. You're not going to succeed by yourself, right? You have to lean on the skills of others and learn where your shortcomings are. So collaboration is key, and we look forward to endless collaboration opportunities in the future. Well, we try to be as prepared as possible. You know, one of my mentors was very keen on vision boards, and it's something that I you know, neglected for so long, right? I figure if it's in my head, everybody shall understand it, and that is not always the case. So, you know, for this, like in this project in particular, we created the vision board, we created the vibe, we created the storyboard, the concept, the script, the drafts, everything, and made sure that that's passed around and that everybody's on the same page. So I would, you know, definitely foresee that being a huge driving force. And, you know, the more prepared everybody can be on a project, the better, you know. So. As you know, as we collaborate and expand and work with more people, I foresee a lot more of that, right? You know, nobody has the right answer every single time. So, you know, back and forth collaborations and tearing shit apart and rebuilding it back up into a better version of itself is, you know, always a part of the process. Just enjoy the show. I was retarded. Anyway, all right.
Clip farming.
Huh?
Stop clip farming.